Hey everyone, welcome to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And today we are watching something very exciting. A new teaser just dropped for the movie that is up and coming. I believe it's coming out this year, I believe, the Ramayan, and with Ranbir Kapoor and Yash as Ravan. But not just the acting cast is pretty amazing here. So we have music by A.R. Rahman, which he's in a lot. So we've seen a lot of movies with him. But also the legendary, A.R. Rahman is legendary himself, but also another legendary composer, Hans Zimmer. So, he has so many top tier credits to list. I couldn't possibly list them all, but one amazing score that he did was Interstellar. And so,
there were people
Gladiator.
that cried.
Yeah, Gladiator and stuff. Like he has a way of composing music that just will give you goosebumps and the feels, and the fact that they got him on board on this project is really awesome. But not only that, like this project just keeps getting stacked and stacked and stacked because so they're using a VFX studio from here in the US. Not only any VFX, so they're using DNEG. And DNEG, I don't know if you know of them, but I've bounced around and I've talked with them, and I have a couple friends that are working for DNEG. They're not on this project. Or I was like, I asked them as soon as I heard that DNEG was up, I called them up. I'm like, hey man, are you working on that? They are not. But so the VFX, we can expect some pretty amazing VFX in this movie, which is going to be a complete contrast to the movie that was previously produced with this theme, which was Adipurush. Now, we do not talk about Adipurush that much, but let's just say the VFX did not hold up. I did watch it. Actually, I believe I watched it with you before this channel, we started this channel a little over 2 years ago. So we did watch it, but the VFX, it was like really, really, really hard to watch. And it took me out of the movie so many times. But here we go. We are going in it again with a big VFX studio, some amazing music producers, and like top tier acting cast.
All right, I'm hyped.
All right,
Let's
is that enough hype for you?
Okay, that is
all right.
a lot of hype. Okay,
so
come on.
Let's jump into it and let's watch it together, and then we can discuss.
Okay. We are using headphones. Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
Just that one shot alone, the opening shot, like here, that's heroic.
Yeah.
Our hearts. Smooth.
Oh.
That was smooth wire work.
Yeah.
Great lighting.
Whoa.
Wow. The lighting is just like how...
Lots of gold tone. Very warm.
Oh, the golden deer. Yeah, okay. That's what lures him away from Sita. Beautiful. Oh, God, that was goosebumps, dude. Wow, that was perfect. What? Wow.
Ooh, IMAX.
So
we
I
gotta
think
get an
that's-
IMAX.
Yeah, we can go to IMAX. So Yash is. So we recently saw a teaser for Yash, Toxic, right?
right.
So that's Yash, and so he's going to be Ravan in this. You're tearing up?
Yeah.
So what are your feels? How are you feeling?
It just felt very epic and very big. And a lot of times when it's really big, that's very touching. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Well, to me, it's like in a way, they captured the essence of like anytime I've heard the story and like when I've read it, the imagery in my head and the epicness in my head and all the lighting really just pulls it together. I've seen a lot of movies that will try to do something epic, but then it ends up being pretty flat. But here with the use of color and the light and the dark and the contrast, they're really like pushing the back, pushing the forward, and you know, highlighting characters and stuff. How well do you know this story?
I don't know the story.
You don't
very
know
well
the
at
story?
all. So
it'll be interesting
But
to
I
watch.
think that's exactly what it is. It's a story that just feels so special and ethereal.
Yeah.
It just gets me going.
All right, well that's fair. With the background score though, it was like you could really feel the devotion. Like it felt super respectful. It felt like we were witnessing something very special. You know, like we were watching something that was put a lot of heart and feelings into.
Yeah.
And I think that comes across a lot, especially with how they put this teaser together and which shots they chose to show, and what kind of facial expressions they had throughout the thing. And we felt a few different emotions through. In the beginning we were like, whoa, this is beautiful, this is wow, and then it got into like the fighting the demons and stuff, and then it was like, oh, this is so cool, and then it got into like the doo-doo, and then it was like probably Ravan we were looking at in the back and stuff, and we didn't see his face yet. So there might be another teaser to introduce, Yash to everybody. So I'm totally looking forward to that, because as soon as it was like and the music changed, like it was like, this is cool. And then that flying lotus.
Yeah, that flying lotus, and just it's like, woo.
That was really cool. Okay, so on some other notes, I have seen people because I was looking at comments as I was loading it up, and I was a little nervous. And why I was a little nervous is because I saw a lot of comments talking about like bad VFX or something, right?
Right.
And because they're like, oh, I expected so much more from like an Oscar-winning VFX company, DNEG and stuff. Well, let me explain something. We're still pretty far away from this movie coming out.
Right.
Okay. And a teaser, like I've worked on a lot of movies, and if you didn't know, I work in visual effects. That's my main job, my day job. And actually, speaking of visual effects, this is a side note. Hans Zimmer is the composer on a project that I just finished with Zack Snyder. It's The Last Photograph. So I just found out that Hans Zimmer is the music composer for it. So that's really cool. Anyway, back into it. When we're working on films, we are working like pretty much like up until like maybe even a month before the release. One time I worked like a few weeks before the release on like an emergency shot, right? So, and the same thing happened in Jurassic World. There was this shot of one of those big water dinosaur things coming out of the water and like eating something, in that zoo park, and people were really upset. They're like, oh, that looked horrible. But then when the movie came out, it was actually fully polished and finished, and it looked so much better. And so and I can see that here, because I can see how it was missing like a bit of maybe a few of the fine touches in the passes, maybe the AO pass and all that, to give a bit more depth, because a lot of people were saying it looked like video game style, right?
A little too flat.
Flat, yeah, in the beginning. So that first opening shot, which I was a little shocked that they maybe used an opening shot that wasn't quite finished yet, because the one that was super solid is when he like did that like kind of flip up onto
around
the branch.
The log,
Or a log, it was way bigger than a branch.
Way bigger than a branch.
So up onto the log. And then, so those shots were like super well polished. But the one in the very beginning, maybe they were like, let's just get this one out of the way, because that one did feel a little bit like video gamey. But again, it's going to be more polished when the movie comes out.
It's a teaser. It's
yeah,
a teaser.
But it's still way more polished than Adipurush. So I'm just gonna say that. I mean, this is like night and day compared to Adipurush. So it's like a redemption for this story because I was really sad about.
And remember, they're not going to give the best of the effects in just the teaser either.
I mean, they wanna show some
they might
things off.
put one in there or maybe two, but they're not going to give all of them away. And those are still being worked on and being made.
I mean,
to
like
look
the climax with like a big fight scene. I mean, you know, we haven't seen Hanumanji. So Hanumanji is going to make a present. Maybe we'll get another teaser for him.
Yeah.
You know, because that I'm so excited to see the visual effects. So this is going to be in 2 parts. Okay, so now to the story. I think this is going to start out with before his exile. So before his exile, he was living in the kingdom as a prince, right? And with Lakshman and his family, and then he gets exiled. So I'm not going to go too much into the story because I want to keep it fresh for you for when you see it.
Okay.
But basically, I think it's going to start out that before his exile. Then when he gets exiled, because we kind of saw them like out there, and we saw the golden deer. So the golden deer is kind of like a big story point that pulls him away. But it was like, anyway, I'm not going to tell you all that.
Okay.
But I'm really excited to see some of this. And in part 2 is when we're going to get to that epic battle at the very end, and Hanumanji brings like the mountain, and so I mean. I want to see the visual effects, how they're going to do all that, because that is going to be epic. So I don't know. How are you guys feeling? I'm super excited, and I got goosebumps through the whole thing because I'm like, this is something that I absolutely love, and I'm really excited to see an actual, true, like a full representation of how it could be with today's VFX and all that. And the budget, did I say it was like 500 million? I think I read somewhere, maybe it's more. I saw like 500 million. So, I mean, that's a pretty big budget. Even for like Hollywood standards, like 500 million is a good budget.
Yeah.
So, but you're pulling Hans Zimmer on board and DNEG. So, I mean, you got to be prepared to have a budget.
little bit of money.
And they also have an all-star cast too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they just went, they're not holding anything back. They're like, take it. Just, go.
Take it and do it.
So, hey guys, let us know in the comments, what are you thinking? Like, are you as hyped as we are for this? Miguel got really emotional. So it's beautiful because like when you can make a trailer that can affect someone and just, even though you might not know because you don't know the story that well.
But it's pulling me in and it's touching on points with me that make me want, why am I having this reaction? I got to know what's going on here. And so, it's a great teaser.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely. This is what teasers should do because this it just draws the hype, and I'm just like, man, what is a trailer going to be?
If they're going to have more teasers and not show me the movie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here. और अगर ये वीडियो अच्छा लगता है और वीडियोस इसके जैसे देखना चाहते हैं फिर सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए और लाइक बटन पर थप्पड़ मारो.